They vanish for months. Complete radio silence. Then suddenly, your phone lights up with their name, not asking how you are, not checking in. They need something. And they need it now. Welcome to the phantom friend syndrome, the most insidious form of emotional manipulation. These people have mastered the art of strategic disappearance, followed by calculated reappearance. They ghost you when life is good, when they're thriving, when they don't need your resources. But the moment their world crumbles, suddenly you're their best friend again. Your brain gets hijacked by this pattern. It tricks you into feeling special when they reach out. You think you're chosen, selected, important enough for them to break their silence. But you're not chosen. You're inventory, a resource to be activated when convenient. Genuine connections don't operate on convenient schedules. They show up consistently. Real friends check in during your highs, not just when they're experiencing lows. The phantom friend sees you as a vending machine. Insert crisis, receive assistance. They've studied your response patterns. They know exactly which buttons to push. This isn't friendship, this is emotional strip mining. And you're the resource being extracted. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Now let's peer into the mind of these predators. Every relationship they enter is a calculated business transaction. They maintain detailed mental spreadsheets of who owes them what. Your kindness isn't friendship to them, it's inventory. They categorize people into 3 tiers: assets, liabilities, and unknowns. You're feeding their narcissistic supply chain without realizing it. Every favor you do deposits validation into their psychological bank account. But here's the sinister part. They specifically target certain personality types. Empaths. People pleasers. Those with poor boundaries. They can smell emotional availability from miles away. You became their chosen resource bank because you consistently deliver. While others might say no, you always find a way to help. This makes you incredibly valuable to their operation. But understanding their psychology is your first weapon against them. Building on what we covered about emotional vampires, let's expose their most calculated weapon. Their timing isn't random, it's surgical precision disguised as coincidence. The mathematics of manipulation follows a predictable pattern that most people never recognize. Phase 1. The silence period. They disappear for weeks, sometimes months. This isn't neglect. It's strategic conditioning to make you grateful for their return. Phase 2. The availability test. They reach out with something small first. A casual text. A random meme. They're measuring how fast you respond. Your response time tells them everything about your current boundaries and emotional state. Phase 3. The escalation. Once they confirm you're available, the real request comes. But here's what they don't expect. You can read their desperation signals. The shorter their disappearance, the more desperate their situation has become. Multiple contact methods in rapid succession. That's panic disguised as persistence. The longer their explanation, the weaker their position actually is. Now that you can decode their timing, it's time to learn how to turn their strategy against them. Building on what we covered about their strategic timing, it's time to deploy the mirror strategy. This psychological warfare technique will completely flip the power dynamic in your favor. The mirror strategy is deceptively simple. You match their energy and availability exactly. When they take 3 days to respond to your message, you take 3 days. When they only reach out during their crisis moments, you become equally unavailable. This isn't about being petty. This is about creating strategic scarcity around your time and attention. Emotional vampires are programmed to expect instant availability from their victims. When you suddenly mirror their delayed response patterns, it creates cognitive dissonance. They're forced to confront the reality of their own behavior reflected back at them. Strategic delayed responses shift the entire power dynamic in the relationship. Suddenly they're the ones waiting. They're the ones feeling the anxiety of delayed responses. The mirror strategy forces them to experience the same emotional uncertainty they've been inflicting on you. Watch how quickly they notice when their reliable emotional supply becomes strategically scarce. This psychological mirror reveals their true intentions faster than any direct confrontation ever could. Building on the mirror strategy, it's time to weaponize your value. The value audit technique transforms you from giver to negotiator. When they reach out needing something, you don't just respond anymore. You audit. You calculate. You demand explicit reciprocity. Before offering help, you make them acknowledge their pattern of taking. Force them to verbalize every one-sided interaction from the past. Make them name what they took, without giving back. Then set payment terms for your emotional labor going forward. You want my advice? First, give me yours on something I'm facing. You need my time. Schedule it like you would with any professional. You want emotional support? Prove you can provide it first. Watch how quickly they reveal their true priorities when reciprocity has a price. The value audit separates users from genuine friends instantly. Real friends will respect the boundaries. Users will disappear completely. Now comes the transformation that changes everything forever. You're about to become strategically untouchable. Building on everything we've covered, this is where you establish unbreachable standards. Your reputation becomes your fortress. People learn that approaching you requires genuine value, not desperation. They start bringing solutions instead of problems. The emotional vampires sense the change immediately. Your availability becomes a privilege, not a guarantee. Watch as they scramble to adjust to your new rules. The power shift becomes permanent and irreversible. You've trained an entire network to respect your boundaries. They no longer see you as their emergency contact for emotional crises. You've become the person who commands genuine respect and authentic relationships. The transformation is complete. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Sometimes, the only winning move is to disappear completely. The nuclear option isn't about anger, it's about strategic elimination. When someone has weaponized your kindness against you, silence becomes your atomic bomb. Complete contact severance means they lose their most reliable solution forever. But here's where it gets truly Machiavellian. You know exactly what they need from you. That knowledge becomes your leverage. They'll panic. They'll reach out through mutual friends, social media, anywhere they can find you. This is when your true power reveals itself. You've transformed from their convenient solution into their cautionary tale. They'll tell others about you. But now the story has changed. You're no longer the person they could count on. You're the one who got away. The nuclear option teaches them that some bridges, once burned, can never be rebuilt. And sometimes, that's exactly the lesson they needed to learn. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button, and subscribe for more.